guys, and welcome back. Today we are canning up chicken. The Zacon chicken that I got a couple weeks ago, I'll leave that link up above. I said I was going to be canning it as well as freezing it, and I showed you how I go about freezing it, and today we're canning them up. I did do my scraps as well. You want to save your scraps whenever I bought 80 pounds, so there was a good amount of scraps. I got about 6 quarts worth of scraps that I can use for dog food or dog food add-on, which I'll talk more about that later. But I mean, or you could use it for broth if you didn't have a pet. So either way, you paid for it, so use it. Don't just throw it away. So there's my spill on don't waste. But yeah, today we are doing chicken, so let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how I do it. So the first thing, you can see all my cubed up chicken. Now you can do a raw pack method, and I'll leave the link to raw packing in the iCard. I do my corned beef raw packed. That's the only one I do raw packed because I find that chicken and beef, just like roast, when it's raw packed, it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. You get stuff on your jars that's hard to get off, and it ends up being like one big clump versus staying in the cubes that we have already cut our stuff in. So it's a lot easier that way, plus the smell and the taste is different. Honestly, when you raw pack chicken, to me, whenever I open up the jar, it smells like I'm opening up a jar of tuna, and that isn't appetizing. But when you par cook your meat first, it tastes delicious. It just tastes like chicken that you have slow roasted, and it's delicious. No one can tell the difference between me taking a fresh piece of chicken or a frozen piece of chicken and cooking it versus popping open a can of my home canned par cooked chicken and throwing it in the mix. So that's why I par cook. Now I've done it a couple different ways. I have a big roaster, and sometimes I'll get my big roaster out and I'll do it all at once that way and get all of your stuff par cooked. I have an electric skillet. Sometimes I'll do that, but today I'm just throwing it in the oven. And so I have these nice little pans, and I have a link to them down below. I bought them off Amazon. It was a 50 pack for like 10 bucks. So I use them for this, I use them for freezer meals, and you can just toss these when you're done. So I'm going to stick these into a 400-degree oven, and after about 10 minutes, I'll stir them around, and I'll have them in there for probably 30 minutes to an hour. I want to make sure all of them get that opaque white color on them so that I know that they're all par cooked. And then I'll bring you back when we start loading up our jars, because I got a little twist this time. It's not just going to be throwing them in with some broth or water, so stay tuned. Alrighty guys, it is time to can up this chicken. I have both my canners ready. I don't have one of them on the stove because I'm hoping that I just need my All-American. But I know that I'll be able to fit at least 18 pints, regular mouth pint jars in this one. And you can roughly get about a pound of meat per pint jar. So with the fact that we had our scraps, and then I froze more than the other 40 pounds, I ended up freezing a little more than that. So because of that, I don't know exactly how many pounds I have left, but we'll see, and I'll be happy with anything that I do have. So you have your sterilized jars. We have our water. We're just using water today. And I have my vinegar and my napkin to wipe the rim of our jar. We have our debubbler, which you want to make sure you have. a debubbler. And yeah, so you go through your checklist, make sure you have everything you need. We do, so let's get started. So I have my hot sterilized pint jar.
No!
And then to this, we just pour in our par-cooked chicken. This went for about an hour. And as you can see, it's not cooked through, but everything is, you can tell it's par-cooked, and that's what we want. So jiggle, jiggle, we have that, and now we want to add our liquid. Now if you wanted to add some salt, you can add your salt. I am just going to do some without anything, and then some of them are going to have some herbes de Provence. So here is one where we're not going to have anything added to it. And that just makes it so that it's a clean slate for if I put it into something that already has a lot of salt in it, I don't have to worry about it being too salty. Okay, so we are at our 1 inch of headspace, which is what you need. Wipe the rim, wipe the rim of your jar, and I use the white vinegar. I was trying to do this while my babies were taking a nap, but they lasted through part of it, but not this part. Get your lid and your ring, and we're just using disposable lids today. All of my Tadler lids are on my cream of chicken and mushroom soup. So fingertip tight, and then set it in your canner. My canner is on, but I don't want it above 180 degrees because you don't want to start the canning process. So now I'll show you the other type I'm doing. And that one had a silver ring, and that's how I'm distinguishing so that I can label them right between the ones that are herbed and the ones that aren't. I mean, you should be able to tell, but just in case, I'm doing it this way. So we add our chicken in again. And that is going to be too much chicken. Oh, you're fine. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to add in just a little bit, not a lot. This goes a long way. Some, you got to be careful. Some herbs do well in the canning process, and then some turn bitter, like sage. I think sage turns bitter, but this has thyme and lavender, and I can't think of what else is in there, but it's delicious. I'm having a brain fart. And they do well. I've canned with them before. So you just add your little bit of seasoning, and then add your water. Again, make sure you debubble, because your headspace can change after you get some of those bubbles out. And that's just a touch more. Oh. And then, and wipe the rim of your jar. And again, a lid. Boom. And we need our gold ring, fingertip tight, and let me bring you in. That is our chicken. Now, when it comes out of the canner, it's going to look like this. Well, it's going to be more cooked, but it's still going to be in the chunks, where your raw pack, it's going to be one big clump. So you'll see that. I'm going to continue doing all these jars. I'm going to get my canner loaded up, and I will bring you back for the results. Oh, this is going to go for 75 minutes for chicken. With our pints, that's 75 minutes. You let it come up to pressure, steam for 10 minutes, and then you put the weight on, let it come up to pressure, then you start your 75 minutes for the pressure canning. I'm actually trying to get together a overview, like a canning 101 video that I'm going to do, just because, like, sometimes I'll mention things and sometimes I'll run through them, and so this will give newbies out there just a video on the 101 on canning, how to can, the basics. So look for that. I'm still trying to get that together because I don't want to forget anything. So yeah, I'll see you guys here in about. Alright guys, so here is our chicken. This is what I ended up getting. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 pints, so about 12 pounds. The rest I just I kept frozen. I didn't want to do it all. I was running out of time, and I can always do it at a later date because you can thaw out meat to can. So there's nothing wrong with that. Over here I have my herbed chicken, and that would be great for pot pies or soups. It's absolutely delicious. And then my other is just normal chicken with no added salt or anything. And you can see they are boiling. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already so that you never miss another video. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Till next time.